Months after historic flooding hit parts of Wisconsin, many homeowners are on a tough and long road to recovery. Some, like those here near McCarty Park in West Allis, have discovered their insurance won't cover all the home repair costs that they're facing.
The whole wall caved in here.
Oh my God.
45 feet of the wall caved in.
West Allis homeowner Katie Theakin remembers everything about the night of August 9th.
Dirt, clay, everything went into our rec room in the basement. And we were down there probably minutes before it happened.
Wow.
It's a story that State Representative Angelito Tenorio says he's heard dozens of times over the past 2 months. People like Katie trying to move forward after what's being called a 1,000-year flood.
Our foundation repair was alone was about $63,000.
But Katie says moving forward is difficult when she got less help than expected from her insurance company.
But you'd expect that with your insurance that they would have stepped in.
Right.
The water came up to here.
Anything you can think of,
Where did it come up to?
Up to here.
Katie has probably replaced or repaired it in her basement.
This whole side here
Yeah.
was a finished drywalled basement. There were a wall here, a wall there, and then that was my gym space. So everything has needed to be, and you can see we have nothing. We have nothing.
Through Badger Mutual, Katie had water sewer backup and sump pump failure coverage. She was covered for $10,000 in damages, which the company did write her a check for.
Oh my God.
Katie says that money, paired with $22,000 she got from FEMA, paid for less than half of what she's had to fix.
What's insurance for?
Right.
What's it for?
Because she doesn't have flood insurance, she says the rest of the rebuilding is coming out of her and her husband's pockets.
No, it's really bad, you guys.
I explored every avenue when it came to the insurance. I reached out to adjusters that live in northern Wisconsin, and everybody told me, sorry, they're not going to do anything. You don't have flood insurance.
So the response was, you don't have flood insurance, sorry, we can't help you.
Correct.
Representative Tenorio says the calls and emails have been pouring into his office.
And this was the most devastated area.
His constituents are sharing the same concern. No flood insurance, no flood coverage.
So a lot of people, as I've been talking to folks, as they've been reaching out to their insurance companies, aren't provided with the information early on when they sign up for homeowners insurance that anything related to flood is not going to be covered by the standard home insurance that people have.
It's enough of an issue that he's taking it to the state capitol.
I'm modeling some legislation with upfront disclosures so that when people are signing up for insurance, they know what they're signing up for, what's covered and what isn't.
Here is when the water went down. You can see my air conditioning unit there.
God.
Without flood insurance, Katie is among the majority facing major out-of-pocket recovery expenses, according to Wisconsin's Office of the Commissioner of Insurance, also called OCI.
You can see the deck ripped and you can see the damage.
Just a complete hole.
In a state with a population of about 6 million, there are only about 10,000 flood insurance policies through the National Flood Insurance Program. That's despite the fact that flooding is one of Wisconsin's primary climate risks, according to OCI.
I'm also working on legislation. How can the state work alongside our federal government and FEMA to make sure that flood insurance is accessible and affordable?
As Representative Tenorio works to change state law,
I think the worst part was the bins for my son.
Katie works to heal.
Because those were memories, right? Like those were memories and they're gone. I'm sorry.
Riding the waves of emotions as they come. In West Allis, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.
You can kind of still see the scars on the wall of where the wall came into the basement originally, and it's all braced up now.
It's tough to describe what Katie Theakin's home used to look like. But the images show what words can't.
I would say within a few months, we were back to this where we're at now.
We were in Katie's basement last September,
The water had gone down a bit because you could see the line there.
just over a month after her foundation collapsed in the August flooding.
And you can see we have nothing. We have nothing. Painted our ceilings,
It's been one repair after another since then.
all new electrical.
Choices she says she had to make.
We had to replace all the floors.
The total cost is at least $80,000, she estimates, and she says much of it has come out of her own pocket and she's not alone.
It makes me sad because people are trying to get back in their houses for the holidays, and I feel like some of them aren't, they're not gonna be.
Like most people, her homeowner's insurance policy does not cover flood damage. And that didn't sit right with Katie.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
She filed a complaint about her insurance coverage denial with OCI, Wisconsin's Office of the Commissioner of Insurance. These documents show the outcome of OCI's investigation into Katie's claim. We got them through an open records request, along with the documents for 6 other closed investigations connected to the August floods.
Writing OCI was kind of my biggest hope for help, and unfortunately it didn't turn out that way for me.
It didn't turn out that way for any of the cases we received.
Just kind of being left high and dry was kind of a very, very helpless feeling.
I brought up the records with Sarah Smith. She's OCI's Director of Public Affairs. She explained that if the agency doesn't find a violation of state law, the insurance company's decision will likely stand.
So in the case of the flooding in this situation, we do substantiate typically the homeowner's insurance policy because in the policy, flood is not a covered loss.
But it is a covered loss if you have separate flood insurance through FEMA, an additional cost to homeowners like Katie. She says it's a frustrating nuance.
Why does it have to be so expensive? Why can't it be a part of our insurance policies and not a separate thing?
The frustration is apparent in similar complaints to OCI too. One homeowner said in part, "I was advised my claim was denied since the water did not come directly out of the sump can. I pay extra coverage for sump pump plumbing failure. I feel I was misrepresented in the additional coverage I was paying for." An insurance agent told Spectrum News they wrote this complaint for their client, disputing the company's decision to deny coverage. Part of it says, quote, "The street filled with water and the water had nowhere to go but back through the lateral line of the home and back into my basement. By definition, this is the coverage I have on my policy called water sewer backup coverage." OCI still substantiated the insurance company's position.
Do you know why that would be?
In that situation, I think it's a facts of the case sort of question again of exactly how the water may have entered the home and whether or not it then met the terms of the policy. So that's where I imagine that consumer may want to pursue potentially working through a claims, small claims court or through some sort of legal avenue.
So if an insurance agent doesn't agree with the company's decision, does that have any influence at all over what OCI finds?
We are limited to evaluating what is within the terms of the policy, what is in state regulation, state law. So other people's interpretations necessarily of what occurred doesn't really influence our ability to go above and beyond what our regulatory authority is in state law.
For Katie, the battle to recoup what her family lost is over.
I'm not going to put up a fight anymore. I did what I could, and that was the end of it.
She says she'll keep moving forward
Something like a flood, what makes it different?
with a lingering question.
Because if a fire took out your whole house, the insurance company would pay for that. But if a flood took out half your house, they're not going to pay for it. Somebody make it make sense. That's the part I'm struggling to understand.
In 2024, OCI investigated and resolved just over 3,400 complaints. Of those related to property insurance, OCI substantiated the insurance company's position 69% of the time. If you are not satisfied with an OCI investigation outcome, you can file an appeal for an independent review. In the studio, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.